Hi everyone, it's William here at Allegory Gallery, and I am a little bit lost today because of the day off yesterday. I'm not used to that. So how are you out there? If you're watching, I hope you'll say hi. I hope you'll let us know where you're tuning in from. I'm a little bit early, better than being a little bit late. Maybe, I don't know. We're usually a little bit late, probably, and I'm actually a little bit late compared to our 5 o'clock time. But had some people in the store. Our helper Annie stopped in and was looking for some things, and we were chatting and catching up on some things since I missed her on Monday, and we were closed on Tuesday. So yeah, lots going on today. We are trying in the background here, at least I am trying, Andrew's trying. We're trying to get some things that maybe we were lacking on, caught up with. So hello Suzanne, hello June, and hello Marianne. Thanks for tuning in. So we realized that when we have our classes here in store, I do a lot of publicizing in various groups, local groups on Facebook and on our page. We publicize those pretty heavily throughout the week, each week. And what we realized is some of the other things that we do, Andrew actually brought it to my attention, and like the book club, we don't actually publicize the book club other than like, we're having our meeting today. So I'm trying to do more like that. So if you've been watching our Facebook page today, I posted about our book of the month, and I posted that, well, I will be tomorrow. I used up my local group postings today for classes to let people know they'd come in on Friday. We found that if we don't post a few days early, people don't actually see it on Facebook before the event. They see it after the event. So I try by Wednesdays every week to post about our classes in the local Facebook groups. And tomorrow I will go through and share that little banner I made for this month's book in our local groups as well. So it's kind of been, I've been updating my to-do list and my book. I've been trying to get back to using my physical book to do to-do lists, because it does help me sort my brain. And when I have something here, if an idea flashes through my head, it's very easy to write that down. I'm one of those people, I'm very technologically minded. I like tech. But there are some things, like when an idea flashes through my head, inevitably, when I go to write it down on my phone or tablet or computer, a notification will pop up and I will forget. I will click on the notification, and by the time I get through that process, I forget what it was I came to write down. So having this book, I keep this book open with me, and have my little fountain pen that I use, and I keep that next to me. Most of the time when I'm here at the store, I keep it open so that if an idea pops in my head, it goes in there, and then I don't forget to do it. Like I even wrote on here, for tomorrow, I have to share that book post, that book club post. So trying to get things cleaned up. I got dates from Jen for our classes, for in-store classes, and I got dates from her for some days she's going to be absent from filming, so we have to make alternate schedules for that. We did not have our Saturday morning tutorial. Jen had some things that came up family-wise, and she couldn't be here last week to film. So that's why we did not have the Saturday morning tutorial. I tried to warn everybody about that during the live, so you weren't surprised. But if you don't watch these lives, you're not seeing this anyway. But I know that may have been a surprise that we didn't have one, but there was no way around that this week or last week. So this week we are filming again, but we are not filming because yesterday would technically have been our filming day and no one was available yesterday. So we are going to be filming Friday afternoon for all that. And hopefully that gives me enough time Friday evening to edit and publish everything to be ready for Saturday morning. So hopefully it'll all work out. Technology, knock on wood, hopefully all that goes well and will be great. Hello, Harry. Thanks for joining in. Cindy is here with us as well. Hello, Cindy. Hello, Norma. Thank you for joining in. Hello, Cheryl. So we just had a bad storm. Otherwise, I'm having fun with Summer of Fantasy prompts. Hope more folks will add their creations to the album. Yeah, so that leads into, we are doing the Summer of Fantasy, if you did not see. Andrew came up with this idea that we wanted to do the Summer of Fantasy, and on July 1st, we dropped the first calendar. I don't know if we're going to do another calendar, but the first part of Summer of Fantasy, we dropped our design challenge calendar for that. And the posts, they're kind of fantasy related, kind of prompts, but they're also kind of open-ended. So you don't have to get into fantasy if you don't like fantasy. You can just follow the prompts as they are. Forget about the rest of the fantasy deal and just make the stuff. So today is make something with gold or gold colored components. And that ties into kind of like, you know, the earth and the concept of alchemy, which we talked about in our post today when we posted about that and gave out the prompt. It's just, you know, trying to, you know, work with things. Maybe you don't use gold. Maybe you're not a gold lover. I'm not necessarily a gold lover, but I have gold today. I'm going to try and work with gold. I'm going to follow the prompt today and see if we can make something together. And so that is what today is. If you have not seen, you have no idea what's going on, go to our blog, allegorygallery.com. It's up there. Go to the blog section, and a post or two back, you'll see the calendar and the post about Summer of Fantasy. And from that blog, you can, at the very end, I think I put it at the end, there is a link to download a PDF calendar if you want to download it, or you can save the image from Facebook or the website if you prefer it in a JPEG. As Andrew talked about a little bit, it's helpful to print the calendar. I do not have a printed version of the calendar. I wish I did. So I actually need to print the calendar myself. But it is helpful to have the calendar printed so that you have it right beside you. We've had a lot of fun prompts lately, and there are lots more coming up. And we know not everyone may have the components needed to complete the prompts in the calendar. So we are having a sale right now. We're having an Independence Day sale, a 4th of July day sale, or week actually. And through Saturday, I want to say Saturday at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time, you can save 21% off everything in our online store. So if you go through that calendar and you say, oh, I don't have an AG wooden pendant, I need one of those. Or, you know, oh, I don't have fire polished check glass, I need one of those. I need a strand of that or 2 strands of that. I don't have any amber, I need some amber. You can go get some in our online store. So you can save 21%. So we wanted to have the sale coincide with the debut of the calendar, so that those of you who may need to save a little money to grab some components can do that. And so that'll go, like I said, through the end of Saturday at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. The sale is over. So I hope you'll take advantage of that as much as you can. And I hope it helps. We all hope that it helps get you some things that you might need to finish up your Summer of Fantasy July Design Challenge calendar. Harry says, I printed the calendar and keep it on my bench. Thank you. Hello, Mary. Thanks for joining in. So I know, oh, Harry, by the way, I looked into the CAPTCHA thing. There is a CAPTCHA, if you know what that is. It's that little thing where it says, find all the fire hydrants, or find all the bridges, or find all the, you know, whatever it is. You have to click on them so it knows you're not a bot on our website. And we have that sometimes when you log into your account. It's not supposed to happen unless you tried multiple times or you're trying from a different computer, but sometimes it even happens to me, and I do the website. So I looked to see if I can turn it off. And technically, I think I can turn it off, but the reason it's on is so that it secures people's accounts on our website. It's so that a bot can't go in and try to change your password or try to get into your site by entering, random passwords at any time, or over and over again to try to guess your password. So I wanted to turn it off because I know that it causes issues for some people, including me. I don't like them. But unfortunately, I think it's best to leave them on, just for the security of the site and just everyone's accounts. So that's the deal with that. Because I told Harry that I would look into it because he was having some issues finding it. Harry says, I found a workaround after 7 different sets. Yeah, it's hard sometimes. I will say that most of the time, when they ask you to find something, there's usually 3 of them, if that helps. Usually every time it asks you, it presents you with a grid of 9, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I think, maybe 12. And usually in that grid, if it asks you to find the boats or to find the bridges, there's usually 3 every time. And then sometimes it resets and there's usually another 3. I don't know why, but that's usually what I have found because I've done it many, many times working on our site too. But I'm glad you found a workaround. Suzanne says, I ordered. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. I've seen your orders come in. Barb is hard at work getting everything out, catching up from when she was off and also now into new stuff. So kind of some news with that too. We have found that I don't know what the easiest way or the nicest way to put this. We have found that more people seem to be upset when we hold orders rather than just shipping them out. When we try to hold orders to combine shipping and save money on shipping for everybody, we get more emails wondering why we're doing that than we think people are looking forward to that or taking advantage of that. So what we are doing is we are going to a system where if you order generally within the same day or the same 2 days, within 2 days, like Barb works Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So if you order Monday and Tuesday, by Wednesday, she will combine those orders if she sees them. But generally, we are going to do less combining and more just shipping out of stuff because we have come to the conclusion right now, and this could change later if y'all let us know, but most people we've gotten the most, I don't want to say negative feedback, but maybe slightly perturbed feedback because we do holding and not just releasing things quickly. And that happens mostly when people order 2 or 3 or 4 times. And before Barb gets one shipped, another one comes out. So she starts packing that one. And before she gets that all packed up and shipped, another order comes in possibly. So it sometimes creates a longer hold time before everything is shipped. And that has been upsetting people lately. So like I said, I've let Barb know we're just going to move to a system that it's going to be as they come in, ship them out. If you happen to order 2 times within a certain 2-day time period or so, then she will combine if she can. But whereas we focused on combining more previously, we are now going to focus more on shipping quickly. And we think this is best because a lot of people who are not regulars expect things to just ship out quickly. They don't understand, they don't watch us enough to know that what we do is try to save them money. So we're going by that. And for all of you who don't mind things being held, just put in your order notes that we can hold it for other orders, or if you plan on placing another order, you can let us know that you're in no hurry. But if you don't say that, we're going to now focus more on timely and quickly shipping. It seems that's what people want, and maybe a possible, Amazon world here, people want things shipped quickly. And so, like I said, it's not generally coming from people who watch our lives, like all of you who watch regularly, but from general people who are ordering, who may not order too often, but every once in a while, and they wonder why their orders are being held, or it takes a little bit longer. So that's that. I wanted to let you all know. That's kind of a shift for us, but like I said, we have been getting the most slightly negative feedback, or maybe more just questions on what's going on, why it's taking a long time to get my order. So we are shifting gears, and we are going to work with shipping as quickly as we can. And like I said, for those of you who order multiple ways from us, sometimes through these lives, sometimes through kind of destashes we do online on Andrew's timeline or on our store timeline or in photo albums, and then the online store. If you order a lot and more often and you want us to combine things, or you're going to be placing an order, just let us know and we'll be happy. We're still happy to do that for you and combine as much as we can. And we still will combine as much as we can. But the focus is shifting slightly to just getting things out the door. And so that's that. What else is going on? Did you celebrate the holiday? I know there's a lot of things going on in the world. It's not necessarily a celebratory time for everyone. There's a lot of things happening here in the country that are hard for a lot of people. And so I know not everyone is in the celebratory mood. Andrew and I kind of took the day to reorganize ourselves and our life a little bit. And it's difficult sometimes. I don't want to go into that too much because y'all know, y'all are mostly, well, y'all are allies. You know what's going on. But it's, we have to make the best of it. And like I said, Andrew and I took the day off to kind of just decompress a little bit. He did some painting. I did some posting and some scheduling and some things, but we took a lot of just a low-key day for the most part. It was also the day which was my grandmother's birthday. So I'm always a little bit, I don't want to say messed up, but I'm always a little bit saddened and depressed when the 4th of July comes around anymore. So for a few days before that, and probably here for a few days, I will still be a little bit sensitive, a little bit, a little bit depressed, probably, I would say. It's a hard time for me. She was one of my very favorite people. She was, more than a grandparent. She was a confidant. She was, somebody that I could talk to when I felt like there was no one else to talk to. So it's a hard time. And so I kind of took the time. I made a little no bake cheesecake in her honor. It's something that we always used to do for her birthday, and kind of just took a little bit easier of a time yesterday. So I hope you all had an okay time. I know there weren't actually a ton of fireworks around here. I expected to hear a lot of booming last night. And now we've had the doors and windows closed mostly, and we've had the air conditioner on a little bit. So maybe that's one reason. But I don't think there was a lot, which I was actually really surprised about, because usually there's a lot around here. Marianne says, I have no problem with hold times. I even had to email a different supplier about not receiving an order from May. It happens. It happens, especially with small business. We're not all, Amazon. We can't pump stuff out. But I also understand wanting to get your stuff and see that shipping notice happen. So I get it. So we're going to focus as much as we can on speed of getting orders out now, is shifting the focus. Except, I know, Marianne, you're in Canada. So when we do have people who order semi-often from countries where the shipping is expensive, we do try to hold orders a little longer so that we can combine, so that you're not charged like $30 some every time. It's not that much, I don't think. I don't know what it's up to anymore. I think it used to be 1811 or something was the total. But yeah, we do try and do that, so we don't have to charge you that every time. Like you order a $4 something and it's going to be $18 shipping. We don't want to do that to you. But other than that, we're going to be trying to ship faster. So, what else is happening? What's going on with you all? What's happening? Let me know. How was your holiday? What's going on? Are you having fun with the Summer of Fantasy? I know some people have been posting a good bit about it, but have you taken up the challenge yet? Are you interested in the calendar? I hope that I hope you are. Andrew talked a little bit about it before. You know, a lot of people have a lot of energy in the first of the year, but also sometimes it's a unfocused energy in a way. So we do our Beat in the New Year calendar to try to give you focus and just get you going, right? And we thought that because you have that energy, you're focused, you're going. A lot of people were making stuff in the beginning of the year, and we've noticed kind of a slowdown, we feel like, in what people have been making recently. So we've noticed a slowdown, and we feel there's this lull in summer. Maybe it's the heat. I don't know. It is for me. So I think the calendar here mid-year is a good thing. I think it helps people just, do things you wouldn't normally do. Like today's playing with gold. I don't play with gold a lot. I'm not a gold fan. It does not look good on me, especially yellow gold. I'm too pale for that, I think. Although I'm starting to like it more and more. I don't know why. The more I say I don't like it, the more I start liking it, right? Isn't that how things work sometimes? But I have, I think the calendar is a good thing, and I hope you're enjoying it. Let's see here. Cindy says, I'm getting excited. I'm excited. It's getting closer to my class with you all. Yeah, you're coming to classes. We can't wait to see you. It's going to be fun, I think. Marion says, I managed one day, but have trouble getting it in the album. Yes, the album. So I think it's in the Design Challenge group on Facebook that I posted it and pinned it to the top. There's a post pinned there. You have to hit the header of that post where it says posted in the album, whatever the album is. If you hit that album link, which is in the top header, not down below, but actually in the top header, it'll put you into the album where you can actually post things. It's a difference between the mobile version and the desktop version. At first, I had pinned the link to the album, and then I realized on the mobile version of the app, when you click that link, it doesn't allow you to put stuff in the album. So there's a post pinned to the top, I think it's in the Design Challenge group, where it says William or Allegory Gallery created an album or posted in the album, and it'll name the album in it's usually highlighted. You click that, and that should help you get into the album, hopefully. We have this issue every time we make an album because Facebook links you to that album in different ways depending on your device or if you have the app or not. It's crazy. So hopefully that'll help get you into it. Harry says, I posted 3 items and sold the blue bracelet right away. Nice. That's awesome. I like when that happens, right? Suzanne says, I had to go to my local store and stock up on basics. That's awesome. Got to support the locals, right? Marianne says, okay, we'll try again. Yeah, try that. I posted it there because of that, and hopefully it lets you in. Like I said, it worked for me once at least. Yeah, Facebook is something else. But I tried to post the link because I grabbed the link to the album, and when I followed that link on a device, it did not work. But when I followed the link for the computer, it did take me there. Cheryl says, the phone app works lovely. The computer option for the album is evil. See, for me, it's the opposite. The computer option, I post a link, and it takes me in there and lets me add photos. The phone one, I have to hit the little special little highlighted album thing, and then I can post the photos. But if I follow the link to the album, it does not work. So hopefully on your device, I don't have any Android devices to test. I have not tested Windows devices, so hopefully you can get into the album. If you can't get to the album that way, you should be able to go to the media. Sometimes it's media, sometimes it's photos. And if you go to either the media or photos, you should be able to go to the album using the drop-down menus on the Facebook page or group. So it's in the group. So hopefully that helps. I don't know. That's all I can say. Getting into the albums, not the easiest thing sometimes, but it used to be super easy. I'd post a link and it'd work. I do my best. Cindy says, I need to print the calendar later tonight. Yeah, print it. We're on day 5 already. Day 1 was just a brainstorming day. We got it out late on day 1. And so we just wanted to give you that time to kind of think about what you might need. And then we've been off and running since then. So today is use gold or gold colored components in your design. So that's what I'm going to work with a little bit today. I have a lovely kind of mix, I think, of golds and reds that I'm working with because I think those go well together. So I picked out some things. I don't know how it's going to work out, but we're just going to play around. I don't have my dual setup here today. I didn't have the time between closing and starting this to set up the other camera, the big camera, which is over here in this corner, and get it up and running with my computer tied in and the phone. And so we're gonna play. You're gonna see the ceiling in a little bit. We're gonna flip the phone that way. Harry says, I have Windows. I clicked album and it went to all of them and clicked the one and it worked fine. Good. That's how you should be able to do it. If you go into either the media or the photo section, it'll be albums in there, and you go to the Summer of Fantasy album. You should be able to add it that way too. Hello, Karen. Did I say that? Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Suzanne says, I ordered gold findings from AG. Thank you. Yeah, we have some nice gold. We have some nice gold pewties, spacers, in the online store, I think, unless y'all bought them out, which I'm going to use some of those today. Marion says, I've already done amber and gold, maybe some earrings to go with my bracelet. Nice. Yeah, and the calendar, by the way, I think it's important to let you all know, you don't have to do the calendar in order, one. And, whoops, sorry, I'm on a bendy stand right now. But Nicole, you are catching this live. Thank you for joining us. So the calendar, you don't have to do them in order. You don't have to do all of them. You can do whatever ones you want. There was something else I was going to say. Maybe it'll come back to me. But if you see, like right now, we're doing gold and gold color components. That's today, technically. But if you don't have any of those and you want to go buy them in our online store with our sale, use discount code 1776 to save 21% off everything in the online store. You can get them now. When they ship to you, then you can do that day then. So pick a different day that has stuff you have and do that. You can either, if you're working ahead, you can post on the day when it comes up. But if you're working behind, like let's say next week you get your shipment of gold colored things from us, you can just go ahead and post those whenever. You don't have to post it on the day that it happens into the album. You don't have to post it in the album at all, but we want to see it. So I hope you will. But you don't have to post it on the day. It does help when you post it into the album if you put the day beside it and kind of what the idea was, what the prompt was, and then talk about what you did in your caption. That's the word, not comments, caption. And so, yeah, I just want you to know that there's no pressure here, right? You do them as you can do them. You don't have to do every day. You don't have to be up to date. If this takes you into August, you can go into August. It's okay. The album's going to stay up there, and we still want to see what you make. And if you tag us, @ Allegory Gallery on Instagram or Facebook. We will try and share those. If you're, especially on Instagram, if you're public, facing. If you're not public facing, if your account is private, we can't share it. We can't put it on our stories. We can't share it anywhere on Instagram. It doesn't allow us to do that. So if you see, why are they sharing this person's all the time and they never share my stuff? It could be because your account is private. Your account has to be open and public for us to be able to share it on our stories and tag us ourselves or share it on our timeline on Instagram. So we do want to see it though. Tag us or hashtag us or @ us, Allegory Gallery. It's right up here. Yeah. Karen asks, William, are the tools you sell online? No, we do not put our tools online. And that's just because we don't often buy enough of them to be able to also sell online. I'd love to do everything, but the other part of that is I know a lot of you want to buy from us, and we appreciate that. And we could put our tools online, but the number of people who might buy them versus the number of people who are going to comparison shop, we cannot get the same prices that some big players get and sell on other places. So if you do need tools, all you have to do is send us an email. That's up here too, info@allegorygallery.com. I think it's over here for you. You can email us, let us know what you're looking for, and I can come back with options because like we have tools over here. We just don't put them online because it's a lot of work to put them online, and I don't know that we would get a big return on it. Now we are working on taking this wall down back here, increasing our classroom space here at the store, and Andrew has plans for bringing a lot more tools into the store. So when we do that, we might start putting them online. We'll see. It's hard to compete, y'all. It's hard to compete with big business and their kind of race to the bottom mentality, right? But we do our best. And so, yeah, that's the long answer. Are the tools online? No, but you can get them from us. And I'm happy to give you options like things like rosary pliers. We might have like 3 different kinds, or, we have different brands, different links, different ergonomics, depending on what you're looking for. All right. Marianne says, and it didn't have to be jewelry. Yeah, a lot of our prompts, if you notice, some of them we've said make this particular thing or make this piece of jewelry, but sometimes we just say your art or create a creation of some sort. It does not always have to be jewelry. Like I said, sometimes we say make a bracelet or make a pair of earrings, but some of them are very open-ended. So for those of you who want to work your mixed media skills, or you want to create paintings, or we've had people do like shadow boxes before, a lot of different things. So you can decide what you want to make on the calendar if it doesn't say to make something specific. I think we did that on purpose because we know that sometimes doing just jewelry, even though a lot of you, that's what you do, doing just jewelry, for a month every day can be maybe a little bit tough for some people. So let your mind go wild, let your creation go wild, and that creative spirit, and you can make whatever you want. Make whatever you want. Okay, so what else? If you're local, we just posted the class schedule for this month. We will be here this Friday. We will be taking off next Friday. Jen's not around. And then we will be here the next 2 Fridays after that. So I think it's the 7th, the 21st, and the 28th. We will have classes in store. So if you're around and you'd like to take some classes with us, I hope you'll do that. I think that's all I had. I had a lot of stuff. That was like 30 minutes worth of stuff. But we're going to turn the camera around and we're going to make some stuff. I hope. We'll see. So if you're playing along, I hope you have your your gold colored items, or maybe you're working on a different day. Let me know in the comments if you are working on the Summer of Fantasy with me today, or what you might be working on, if you're working with the gold or gold color components, or if you're working on a different day. Let me know in the comments. Comments are great. They help all of these social networks know that you're interested in us, so don't be afraid to put comments down. And especially if you're rewatching this right now, the comments count completely differently, especially on YouTube, than they do while we're live. Crazy, right? I don't know. But feel free to leave a comment. Feel free to hit that share liberally. Just share all over the place. Share everything we post. Yeah, let's have some fun. Let's have some fun today, all right? And hit that thumbs up. Thumbs up, subscribe, you know, all that good stuff. We're getting higher on our, I think, was it YouTube? I've been trying to do too much, I think, today. We are at, on YouTube, I think we're at almost at 1,400. We're at 1,391 people subscribe to us. 1,391 people. That's a lot of people, y'all. Thank you so much. And we're getting very close. We're, what, 9 away from 1,400? That's pretty stinking awesome, I think. So if you can share with your friends and let them know, go over and subscribe to us. Maybe they'll like us too. All right? Maybe they'll like us too. Cheryl says, I used the gold tone skulls from your shop for today. Not sure if that was fantasy for some, I guess, right? Yeah, you know, it doesn't have to be fantasy. Internally, in order to create our calendar, we have internal ideas about what's going on in the calendar. And if you look and you analyze week to week what's going on in the calendar, maybe you could figure that out. But we're not really talking, I don't think Andrew mentioned it, unless I missed that part of his live. We're not really talking about what our concept was, because we don't want to put that on you or put that in your brain. So we did it because it helps us create the calendar and helps us stay on task for what we think or what we're planning. But yeah, each week kind of has a theme. I don't know if you noticed that. But and the weeks wrap for the because it's a pretty long, it's a long month, right? There's almost 5 weeks. It's almost one of those 5-week months. So yeah, there's kind of, we have an internal theme going on. So I don't know, maybe you didn't notice. But fantasy means a lot of different things to a lot of different people, right? And there's we're not going to say you're wrong, right? So have fun with it. Let's be fantastical if we want to, or just make the stuff. Make whatever you want. If you don't want to, it's okay either way. But thank you for using the gold tone skulls. Were they the mini skulls, the tiny skulls, or the AG fine pewter skulls? Because I think we had both in there. We have the tiny Indonesian skulls that are gold tone, and we have the AG fine pewter and antique gold. We have a number of skulls, I think, in AG fine pewter. Norma says, I don't have much gold. I'll have to do some digging and possibly purchasing. Get it before the end of the week. Get saved 21%. And you were like, why is it 21%? If you add 1776, 1 plus 7 plus 7 plus 6, 21. So it's 21%. Had to do it that way. Have to play games a little bit to keep things interesting. Beaten with Nicole B. Hello, Nicole B. Thanks for tuning in. Again, if you're out there, please share. Please hit the thumbs up. We're up to 24 people or so watching, which is nice. I like when it stays at least over the 20s. I'd love to get more, but it makes this intimate, and I like that. It makes this intimate. Cheryl says, small skulls and the heads were skinny. Could have been either one, maybe. But you used it with the, if I remember correctly, with the Philippines Global Adventure Kit, I think, right? I saw those, the earrings. They look nice. They look nice. All right. What else is going on? That's about it, I think. I hope I'm not missing anything. If I am, we got some time together. So I'm going to start making some stuff maybe. So let me flip this camera around, and I'm going to show you what I kind of have picked out, and we'll see if it's going to go anywhere or not, because I kind of picked these out and I'm not sure about them. Kind of did it really quick. But I gathered some stuff. I found some basics that I really wanted to use, And then I walked around the store and saw some other stuff. So we're going to see how it all jives. Nicole says, I missed this entire conversation. You have two options, Nicole. You can, on YouTube, you can rewind while we're live and you can catch up if you want to, or just watch it after, do the rewatch. We mostly just talked about what's going on here, and now we're going to get into the making part. So whatever you want to do, if you want to hang out and make with us, grab your stuff. We're working with gold or gold colored components. That's our Summer of Fantasy prompt for today. We have a July calendar that every day has a new prompt of what to make. And so we are using that calendar. And on the 5th, that's today, we are doing gold or gold color components. So yeah, and I think, let me see here. I got to pull up the calendar myself because I don't have a printed copy. Why not? And of course, my computer just, oh no, I thought it just died. It is dying. And I missed it before it died. I don't think you have to make jewelry today. I think it's just use gold or in a creation. I think I said maybe. I don't know. Don't have my calendar. See, bad me. But yeah. So we're going to play. All right. So let me go ahead. I'm going to flip the camera around, and we're just going to hang out, chit chat a little bit. You're not going to see my face anymore because I'm going to show you this. I don't have my, like I said, I don't have my big camera set up. So we're just going to flip this one camera and just hang out together for a little bit and make something maybe. And if you want to just sit and listen, we can chat together. If you want to make stuff, Andrew says it's use the components in a design. So it doesn't have to be jewelry. It can be any type of design. You can design anything with gold or gold color components, right? So that is what we are going to do today. And I have some gold. I mixed it with some red, maybe some ambers. I don't know, but we're going to play around. All right. And if you see anything you like that I use, everything I use is available to you as well. So if you can't find it in our online store, just send us an email, info@allegorygallery.com, and I'll check it out. I do have some emails that I'm still working on, mostly because we were closed yesterday, and Monday I was at my other job. So if you've been waiting for an email back, especially on Milagros, a number of people have asked me about Milagros. And so I'm trying to still sort those out. We have a lot of them, and some people are asking for some specific ones. So I'm trying to go through them all and find the specific ones if we have them. All right. Let's see here. Nicole says, I'm trying to transition from the findings I purchased early on. I want to start using more quality findings. Well, hopefully you'll like ours. We try to do quality stuff. You know, if we wouldn't use it in our designs, we're not going to sell it to you. So we don't have many findings necessarily in the online store. We have a number of them. But if you're looking for things like head pins or jump rings or things like that, always feel free to email us if you don't see them in the online store. We're just a small company, so it has to be, it's one of those things like it's going to take a lot of effort to get like 20 different kinds of jump rings in the online store, and is it worth it? So we don't always do that, but we do have a big enough stock of jump rings right now. Might start doing that. But anyway, it's always that, is it worth to put our time there, or just, you know, if somebody needs them, they can email us and we'll be happy to check things out and let you know what we have. And something else flashed through my brain while I was talking about that. Oh, yeah, jump rings in particular. If you've not watched the Saturday morning tutorial we do here on YouTube, we normally partner with our teacher Jen Tucson of J&T Creations to do those. She hosted a tutorial where she taught you how to make your own findings. So she made some different kinds of head pins. She made some different kinds of head pins, jump rings, ear wires, swirly S-hooks, different kinds of S-hooks, and swirly connectors. So if you missed that, go back to our Saturday morning tutorial playlist on YouTube. They're only available on YouTube, not on Facebook. go to our YouTube channel, Saturday Morning Tutorials, and find the one where we have basic findings with Jen. And she takes you through, in the description of that video, if you want to jump to a particular point in the video, there's a timeline in the description of that video that if you just want to see how she teaches you how to make jump rings, you can go there. If you want to see how she teaches you how to make an S-hook, you can go there. So you can jump to various points using the description there. And again, if you buy anything from our links in the descriptions of any of our videos that don't go into our own online store, we will probably get a kickback on that because we use Amazon affiliate links. So if you do buy something from those, even though it's Amazon, you are still helping us out. And if you buy anything else on Amazon, if you're looking for a TV maybe, and you also need a 6-step bell making plier, use our link. When you add the TV, we actually get a kickback on the TV too, even though that's not our link. But you do have to start by using one of our links. Then you can pile anything in your cart and we get a little kickback on it. So you can help us out, you can help any small business that uses affiliate links that way. And the link will stay valid for, I think, 24 hours. So if you use our link and you put stuff in your shopping cart and you don't check out, I think you have 24 hours, and then after that, we don't get credit for it anymore. So unless you go back in, use the link again, and do the process over. So anyway, that's how that works. So we appreciate that. A lot of people have emailed us, why are we using Amazon links? We don't carry everything in our online store, and it's just easier to do that. We get a little kickback, and you get the stuff you need to make the projects. All right. Let's see here. Nicole says, yeah, I've seen people create their own. I must try it soon. Yeah, have fun with it. Try it. Make your own findings. It's always nice when you can make your own stuff, right? It's nice to buy stuff and have stuff. I like to sell stuff too. Keeps us in business. But when you are running out, if you have a thing of wire around, you don't have to get desperate, right? Like, it's like a Sunday and you're making stuff and all the shops are closed and I can't get any jump rings. You can still make your own. Harry says, I am transitioning my Etsy shop, dumping most of the jewelry made with stampings and chain, going mostly handmade metal and good AG beads and findings. Thank you. That's quite the ordeal, I bet. You have a lot of stuff. So that's interesting. That's going to be a task probably, but it feels good to do that, I think, once in a while, right? It's always a challenge. We've done our online store, 3 or 4 different times we've renovated it. And every time it is a task, sometimes monumental, but it sometimes feels really good to refresh, right? It feels really good. Cindy says, I love making my own findings. Nice. Teresa's joining in. Hello, Teresa. Thank you for being here. Danette says, hi, everyone. Received my kits on Friday. That's good. You got the kits before they all left. They're all gone from the online store. At least I think so. I think I got them all. So yeah, all of our kits are now out of the online store. You can't purchase them anymore. Some will be coming here into the physical store here probably by the end of this week. Other ones will be gobbled back up and put into our treasure hoard, our dragon hoard as we have here. Speaking of fantasy, right? And then possibly used in other kits or new kits that we come up with. So kits are not going to be completely gone forever. We just had to make room. And, we have a fairly large building where we house our online stuff, but it takes shelves. We have shelves and shelves of inventory right now. And so the kits were becoming a little bit much for Barb to organize and keep organized. So we had to push them out, and we're going to start new. Nicole says, I'm just nervous that making myself may not be good enough. Why not? Why not? Lots of people do it. You can do it too. We believe in you. Follow along with Jen's tutorial and do some practicing, and they'll be great, I'm sure. A lot of that kind of stuff, like making the ear wires, and when you're working with wire especially, a lot of it is just muscle memory. So you have to do it enough times until it becomes more natural for you. But Jen takes you through nice and easy, takes you through each process a number of times. Our tutorials can get long because we don't cut scenes very often. Every once in a while I'll cut a scene if it's like Jen's polishing something and it's taking a while, or filing something and it's taking a while. But most of the time, Jen goes, like if she does earrings, she goes through it at least twice, the whole process. And we don't do a lot of cuts. And so I know sometimes that makes people crazy probably, because you're like, I just watched this. I just watched this again and again. But for people who are truly beginners, I think it's one of the best ways, because it often takes me a number of times seeing something to understand what's happening. And so I think that's the best way to do it. So watch the tutorials if you haven't with us already, and walk through with Jen. And that's the nice thing too, is you can kind of do it with her. She does it in real time. Of course, she's been doing it for years, so she may be faster at doing it with you. But just because she's faster doesn't mean you still can't work with her, because she does it multiple times, right? So if she's making ear wires, she makes them both with you right there. We don't just make one and say, ta-da, here's the other. You get both of them. So definitely you can follow along, I think, the tutorials. And of course, you can always rewind and rewatch and replay. But I think a lot of people could have success watching in real time, because if you actually watch along with it, because she will do things multiple times over and over. And that's kind of part of the process. I know a lot of people, to keep, YouTube has this thing, people like to stay under about 10 to 15 minutes. We rarely do that. But I think for things like this, when you're learning something new, I don't think the cutting away is helpful. I think I would rather watch it multiple times, and you can skip ahead. If you've like, I got this, I know how to do this part, you can skip ahead. It's better than having to, I think, rewind 18 times because you do something for this short amount of time, and you have to keep watching it to figure it out. Anyway, Nicole says, I have to start watching the tutorials. Yeah, please do. They're all available in the Saturday morning tutorial playlist. We also have other tutorials that Andrew does, and you can watch those. They're in the tutorial play. There's another different tutorial playlist on YouTube. The Saturday morning tutorials are in both, and so you can see those there. But if you just want to catch the Saturday morning ones, you can watch those too. Danette says, do you have sales in the shop or just usually online? Mostly online. We do sometimes have sales in the shop. Maybe twice a year we'll have sales in the shop, and we usually announce those when we do. But most of our sales are online only. And we have a little more leeway because, some of a lot of the things in the online store are only in the online store. And so there's a little bit of a markup to do we put a little bit of a markup on things to do the photos and write the descriptions and editing the photos and posting things there. So it takes a little bit more of our time than just slapping on a label here in the store and putting it on the store floor. So we can give a little bit more of a discount there. In the store, we try to keep things as low as possible, because there is this idea about Ligonier, which has been through the decades. The Ligonier stores are owned by people who are wealthy, and so prices are exorbitant. It's what a lot of people believe. So we try to break those stereotypes by having, prices as low as we can. So we can't always offer in-store items at a discount, and that's why we don't do a lot of discounts in store. We're one of those places that tries to do the everyday low prices, right, and truly have everyday low prices. But every once in a while, we have a sale in the physical store. Danette says, oh, I remember what I wanted to ask. What type of stringing material is recommended for a beginner? I have wire, chain, and leather, and some sort of cord. It depends what you're doing. It depends completely what you're doing. If you are just stringing, I will show you what I'm going to use. It's Softflex beading wire. That is what we recommend. That is what we generally use. So get yourself a nice beading wire. You'll need crimp tubes and crimping pliers to finish off whatever you're doing with the beading wire. But that is the basics of stringing, is beading wire. Now you can use leather if you want to use other kinds of materials. You have leather. Most leather you're going to need large hole beads to use. So beading wire is nice that you don't need special sized holes in your beads. But even beading wire comes in anywhere from very fine to heavy. So there's very fine, fine, medium, and heavy. And some of the heavy wire, for example, will not fit through our vintage pearls. So you got to go to either fine or very fine. So it just depends, but I definitely recommend beading wire for a beginner. If you have chain, you can do things with chain. I'm going to try and work with some chain maybe today. We'll see. I at least have it here. What did you say? Wire too. So wire is great for wire wrapping. Wire is great for making your findings if you need to. Wire is great for making like the head pins and connecting things together. But you're not going to necessarily use wire to make a bracelet and put stuff on, generally. So beading wire is where it's at. And we don't sell the beading wire online. Again, we can't compete with a lot of prices. So when people see our prices, they're like, oh, they're a little higher. They're going to be more expensive. We don't like to do that. So if you want to support us, just send us an email and we can get you beading wire. All right. Marion says most journal making videos are about an hour. That's good to know, because I always feel bad when we hit like 40 minutes or something on our tutorials, because the whole thing, a lot of people on Facebook or on YouTube, when you watch them, they're like, keep your videos under 10 minutes, you know, under 10 minutes, under 15 minutes. That's the maximum you should have. And we're very much long form content. That's very much what we are, right? Andrew says, I would like to refilm some of my tutorials to cut out the extra talk. Yeah, I think we're going to be refilming some of Andrew's and processing them and then sharing them again over the coming months. Because we do chat. Well, like I'm going to chat today with y'all, but when we're doing a tutorial and you're watching this, like it doesn't make it quite evergreen. And I don't know if you know what I mean when I say that. But, you know, if you're talking to people in your tutorial, or you're answering questions that not everyone can see, or you're wondering where those questions are coming from, it doesn't make sense like in 3 years from now, right? Or maybe it does. Maybe the questions are still valid, but it seems weird, right? And people don't really rewatch, I think, as much as they watch a regular tutorial. When they see a live, they don't always rewatch the lives, even though they're good tutorials. So, and we also talk a lot. Obviously, I've been talking now for an hour. I hit like 30 minutes and I thought that was a long time before. I'm now talking for an hour. So we do that. And so we have a lot of talk, as we call it, talk at the beginning, and sometimes talk at the end. So we'll probably refilm some of Andrew's tutorials to get rid of all that. Get right into it like we do with Jen. Say, hi, I'm Andrew. Let's work. So we'll probably do that. Nicole says, I just went and checked out those playlists. Thank you. Thank you. Jeanette says, awesome. Thank you. Andrew says, the main reason why we can have sales online is that the overhead costs in the physical store are higher. It's true. We make less money on the items sold in the store as opposed to online, where we have higher margins because overhead costs are lower. It's true. It's true. Yeah, it takes a lot to run a store, and we make less money on things sold in the store than we make online. It's just the way it is. Nicole B says, I love beading wire for stringing. Yes. Says, I love watching long videos too. Yes, because we do long videos. That's what we do. And if you're new to us, we are a very small store located where we consider ourselves like a boutique bead store. We hand pick almost everything that we bring in. If we wouldn't use it in our jewelry making, we won't sell it to you. If we can't hand pick the items, we work with trusted vendors who we've worked with for years, who know our style, who know what we like, who send us stuff. Sometimes we still send things back, but most of the time we work with trusted vendors, and we inspect everything. Everything goes through us before it gets to you. So yeah. So that's who we are. We're located near Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in the United States. If we do have a physical store, So if you are ever visiting, Frank Lloyd Wright's Fallingwater, if you're an architecture fan, a lot of people know that house, is near us. We have ski resorts near us, Seven Springs, Hidden Valley. People often come there in the winter. It's a fairly short trip to us here. We have lots of hiking trails and beautiful scenery around here. Lots of things to do in our town. So if you're ever in the area near Pittsburgh, it's about an hour drive from Pittsburgh, and you can come visit us and hang out. And so, yeah, but we also sell a lot online. Allegorygallery.com, lots of stuff. Right now we're having a sale. Use discount code 1776, 1776, and you'll save 21% off everything in our online store until the end of the week. Danette says, your prices are good. I'd rather purchase from you than a big box store. I prefer to support small businesses. Thank you. We try really hard. And it hurts. Like I get heart palpitations when people come in and say, oh, it's so expensive here. Because it's not. We try very hard not to make it expensive here. But people just get this idea, and maybe they'll look at our high-end case and they're like, oh, things are expensive. Ligonier is so expensive. And then I tell them, here, let's make a project together for $5 and let's see if you think it's expensive. So we try to turn that story back around when people come in and see expensive things and think we're only expensive, but we try our best. Nicole says, I never used to replay lives because I thought to myself, if I have a question, no one will respond since the live is over. Says, I now know that watching replays for lives is great to do. Yes, it is. And if you replay a live and you put something in the comments, especially on YouTube, I try and look at all the YouTube comments. Facebook, we stream in like 5 different locations on Facebook. So it's harder for us to always catch the comments because Facebook doesn't always tell us you commented. But if you're on YouTube, I go through YouTube comments at least 2 or 3 times a week generally, and I try to answer as many questions there as we can. So if you are watching one of our lives and you do have a question or a previous live, put it in the comments. It goes to a separate comment area than these live comments we get today like this. And it's easier for me to catch them on YouTube. So that's that. So thank you. Yeah, watch the lives. And a lot of hours, if you don't want to go with this talk in the beginning, because we try to update you on what's going on here. And if you're watching a replay, sometimes that has no relevance anymore. Just you can always skip ahead to the project. Andrew says, accept Unikite. I will sell you Unikite, but I won't use it in my designs. Yeah. Kind of mean the quality. We want to make sure the quality is there. We're not going to use everything. We have our likes and dislikes too, but the quality has to be there. It has to be up to snuff, right? Nicole says, oh, and by the way, I started my channel and would love some tips. I do shorts right now, but we'll be getting into long form. I'm not great on shorts. I've been trying to do more shorts, but our shorts on our channel get more thumbs downs than anything sometimes, and I don't know why. We're just not great. I'm trying to be more jovial and be more interesting, but it's a time thing. So congratulations on doing the shorts, because that's, I think, a hard thing. That, you think it would be easy to do a short, but I think to be successful in doing shorts, it's actually pretty hard. I can sit here and talk to people all day long like this, but to make short videos that are like less than a minute that have interest and keep people interested, and you don't get thumbs downs, it's hard. It's hard to do, but so congrats on that. And yeah, I mean, we're always happy to help if we can. We're kind of, we're learning this as we go too, but anything we've learned, we're happy to pass along to people. Andrew says, the other thing is that we add a lot of value by offering free expert advice. Yeah, just like we're just talking about. A lot of our talking time is free expert advice. So if you're looking to start a business, if you're looking to do things, yeah, that's what it is, right? We offer a lot of advice in a lot of different areas. Marianne says, okay, I made a pair of, Marianne's on the ball. I've been talking for an hour, so a lot of you who are making with me may be done. Sorry. Andrew says, I can almost guarantee that if you have a specific question at a big box store, you have a very slim likelihood of actually getting an answer. Oh, yeah. Free advice in store, too. Yeah, I don't know how many times I've gone to certain big box art supply stores and asked them questions about things that we need and things that we're working on. From, do you have this? A lot of times they don't even know if they have it, to how do you use this? They don't know how you use it. They supply it, but they don't know how you use it. We try anything that we have or we supply, we know how to use it. We know what you can do with it. We know how you can embellish it. Yeah, we try to, help you along the way. That's what we're here for. Selling things that you don't actually know what they are, that's great. Maybe you get it at a good price, but if you take it home and you have no help to use it or you don't understand it, that's hard. And yes, you can look up things on YouTube and everywhere else, but there's nothing like getting the advice from someone as you're purchasing and making sure you're making the right purchase for yourself. Nicole says Unikite is pretty. Some people like it, some people don't. Suzanne says, I'm feeling Unikite lately. It's a stone for July. That's nice. That's nice. Yeah. Some people like it, some people don't. Andrew's not a lover. Andrew's not a lover of Unikite. Nicole B says, thank you. I think long form is harder, right? We do what we're good at, and we always think that's the easier thing, right? Yeah, I want to try to get into doing more shorts, but I think it's harder. I don't know. For me, it's harder. Nicole says, yes, I appreciate hearing the advice. Let me stop asking questions so you can move on. That's okay. Andrew says, you just need to take your shirt off for shorts, William. I saw someone last night with over 100K followers and like 25 videos. He just had his shirt off. The thirst is real. I don't know if me taking my shirt off would be the same as some other people taking their shirt off. But if it would get us 100,000 followers, I'll take my shirt off. I'll do it. I'll do it for 100,000 followers. But only for that. Only for that. Yeah, it's like I follow a lot of these pottery, because I'm getting into pottery and ceramics. I follow a lot of these pottery things, and the whole thing now, like people who used to be clothed are now unclothed, shirts off and everything else, doing pottery. It's just them making things, sometimes very easy things that even I'm a beginner and I could make, and still they're just taking their shirt off and their views are like astronomical. And I'm like, I don't know if anyone wants to see me middle-aged taking my shirt off, but if I got to do some working out to get 100,000 followers and like thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of views, maybe I could be, persuaded. I don't know. Anyway, Nicole says, take off your shirt. LOL. That was funny. I know, right? Cheryl says, listen to Andrew. See, I don't know. It's one of those things. I've never been one of those people very comfortable in my own skin. So I'm like, why does anybody else want to see that? But, these days, I don't know. I gotta do some working out though if I'm gonna do that. A lot of working out if I'm gonna do that. But yeah, anyway. So that's that. What else is happening? I don't know. Andrew says, got kittens to feed. I know. Got to make. Suzanne says, put the kittens on. I know, right? Put those kittens on. Make them do their duties for the family, right? Facebook user says, if you take your shirt off and hold one of the kittens, you would have a ton of followers. I don't know. Maybe because of the kittens. But I'm not quite of the body style yet. I think that people want to see. Nicole says, oh yeah, pets are the way to go, right? They need to be responsible for their own food buying soon, right? They get a little bit of time as kittens, but then they got to make their own money. Marianne says the naked beater, right? There was the naked chef, right? He seemed to do well until he didn't anymore. Nicole says, I know them by name too, right? Suzanne says, the naked beater with kittens. Now there's it, right? The naked beater with kittens. You don't quite know what you're going to get when you follow the link that says the naked beater with kittens. You never know. You never know what you're going to see. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if people would be following that link to see my body type, right? Andrew says Jamie Oliver is doing all right, right? Yeah, he was the naked chef. So Danette says, yep, take your shirt off and hold one or more of the kittens. Just hold all the kittens. Then I can't beat. I can't do anything. But I can talk for an hour and 10 minutes like I have already. All right, let's flip this camera around where you can't see if I'm naked or not. We're going to do some beating. All right, so let me flip this around. Hopefully my stand doesn't get in the way. I always forget this stand is a little bit harder to do things with. And now my camera won't move. My screen won't move. There we go. Front camera, back camera, ultra wide. That's going to work. Don't mirror my camera anymore. Let's see. Come on, get back. See? Okay, let's see if I can get this out of the way enough that y'all can see what I'm doing. Marianne says the naked chef was never naked on air. I know. Believe me. Believe me, I know. I was like, ooh, what's this? And I'm like, you are not what you say you are. You are not what you say you are. You are a chef, but you are not naked. Anyway, I think this camera may be not the best camera. Let me see. That's usually the camera I use. What's this camera look like? That's way too close. Let's just use, I think for making, the back camera is the best. It doesn't give me the close zoom up feature, but you don't need that. You don't need that. Andrew says there's this metalsmith on Instagram, and she likes her saw frame, and she's got 258K followers. I don't know what that means. And she likes her saw frame. Oh, and she licks her saw frame. Ooh. Nicole says, ooh, I love those gold saucer spacers. These ones? These ones? I like these too. These are the little brass beads. They're only 45 cents each. And they're actually pretty heavy. But I brought those over. I brought these over. These are gold tone pewter findings. These are large hole. So if you are working with leather or things, these are really nice. These are 25 cents each. Suzanne says, Cinnamon likes Barnaby, so maybe a Barnaby the beater cat, right? Get those kittens and those cats working. I have this Galaxy glass, and I liked this one because it gave me my start of what I was doing today. I'm like, what? Sorry, I keep bumping this. It's probably going to happen a lot. So this is gold, but it has that red. And once I saw that red, I was like, ooh, I can use other colors with this. So these are Galaxy glass. We have some of these in the online store. If you don't see this size or color in the online store, I have a few more here in the physical store. You can go ahead and message us, or just send us an email, and we can hook you up. These are $6.50, and these are 6 millimeter rounds. And then I have fire polish check glass that is in that same kind of red and gold-ish tones. And so I thought maybe I could use that with that. And then these, while they're not quite gold, they're kind of an antique gold color. They're brass. These are brass findings. These are $7, but I really like the way these look. The hole goes, you can see how the hole goes through them. And I think they're going to add some interest to all of this, maybe. Maybe it's going to be too flat. I don't know. And then I have my gold crimp tubes here. I have some gold jump rings. This is ancient quartz that's in a brass, I believe, bezel. It's a brassy gold colored bezel. So we have that. We have these little spacers. I used some of these in my last one of my last ones that I did with y'all here. These are these kind of little star spacers. And when you put them on, all you see is the edge like this, because you can see how the hole goes. So all you get to see is this whole edge, but it gives a little bit of a gold tone. And then because I thought maybe for this size, these are going to be fine. But because of this smaller size, if I want to use spacers, I have these itty bitty, come on. Oh, look how small those are. Tiny ones that can go in between the fire polish check glass because it's smaller. So I have those. I got those out. I have this Pennsylvania charm, in gold-plated Pennsylvania charm. It says Pennsylvania on it. And I thought maybe I'll use that. I don't know. Maybe I won't. I don't know how I want to get, but I kind of like the idea from like this ancient quartz to this kind of modern Pennsylvania, right? I don't know. Kind of a thing. And then I have this gold chain. And I picked this large looped gold chain because I think the idea that I want to do is, because I talk about this a lot, but I don't actually show it. I want to weave this. This is sari silk. This is recycled sari silk. And so this recycled sari silk is fun because it has all these rough edges, and I kind of like that. Like this is so, beads are so structured. They're so, these are 6mm rounds. They're made to be round. We have saucers that are, particular in shape. But this gives your design, I think, a little bit of a rough edge, literally, right? And I want to weave this through here. So maybe. So I'm going to do something maybe where this gets woven through the chain a little bit. And that's a way that you can use this sari silk. And so this may be part like this on part of my bracelet. I'm not going to do the whole thing. And I think I'm going to do a bracelet. I might end up making a necklace. I might just end up stringing things and see what happens. I'm just playing around today. I have no real concept for what I'm doing, as usual. I'll just see where it takes me. But I kind of like that look. So that is what I'm working with and playing with. And I'm going to see if I can lift this. Sorry, this is going to bump around a lot, but I need to try to adjust this stand so that it's both showing you things and out of my way, at least as much as possible. And maybe I'll actually get a little bit higher so that it's more out of my way and you can see more of the screen, because I have a hard time staying in focus when I make stuff. All right, so that's kind of okay. You can see what I'm doing here a little bit. Andrew said the person who made the sari silk for us no longer makes it. So what we've got is what we've got. She had some serious medical problems and is semi-retired. It's sad news. It's sad news. I don't like that, but I totally understand it. So if you do like sari silk, these are hand-dyed sari silks, and all of our silk is dyed, hand-dyed, and we have silk in the online store. And so if you like this, I think you can find this color, if it's still there, in the online store. You can find just type sari, S-A-R-I, into the online store search, and you'll pop up all of the sari silk. Brooke says, what a pretty color. I think so, and I picked it because it goes with this is kind of like a, I don't know, like a pinky red. It has more of a pink tone to it. So I like this combo here. And I think with the chain, I think this is going to look really pretty. Andrew says, I liked her dyeing method because it was a zero waste process. That's always great, right? When you can do the zero waste. Nicole B says, gorgeous like a wine color. Yeah, this is like a nice burgundy or a Chianti color, right? Very, very nice. So the sari silk we have is all that we have. We're not going to be getting any more from them. So if you do like it, check it out in our online store. Type in sari. You can save 21% right now if you use coupon code 1776 for the day of independence, or the year of independence of the United States. Andrew says, now I want wine. He says, I want the wine, right? I don't want the wine. I don't drink the wine anymore. I gave up the wine. I don't miss it. Sometimes I miss it, but I mostly don't miss it. You know what I do miss sometimes, though? A nice, refreshing vodka tonic. No, gin and tonic with elderflower syrup. I do miss that sometimes. Nice Hendrick's gin maybe with elderflower, a Saint Germain elderflower syrup, and some tonic water. Bright, refreshing. But they do, they make a lot of that stuff non-alcoholic. So I just need to find a good non-alcoholic spirits place, which I think we did find in Pittsburgh when we were at Contemporary Craft the other night. I don't know why I'm blanking on their name, but we found a nice place they are a liquor store, quote unquote liquor store, but they sell all non-alcoholic stuff, which is great. Andrew says, mostly in summer, we'd make cocktails or have a PA chilled wine and have it on the porch. The Teetotalers was the group we went to, Teetotaler Initiative, but the actual bartender was from, I want to say Open Road. Is that right? Open Road, Pittsburgh? I'm not 100% sure. Andrew can check on that for me. Hello, Sandra. Thanks for joining in today. You made it just in time for the make along, or if you're not making the watch along. But I've been talking this whole time. Surprise, surprise, right? We like to talk with you. We like to talk. We like to chat. What's fun of just getting on here and not doing any chatting? I don't know. We just film it then and post it rather than do it, right? All right, now I gotta find my tools. I gotta find all my tools. They're usually here, but I've been missing a few things here recently, and I don't know why. Oh, it came back. I've been missing this for like a week, and now it came back. Sandra says that never happens. What, that we just come here and just not talk? I know. We always talk. Always talking about stuff. But it's more fun that way. I think it's more fun. Oh, I keep knocking this over. I should use the other stand, but our other camera is already hooked up to it, and I didn't want to mess it up, even though I didn't have time to do the other one. So this is what we were talking about. Talking about what kind of beading wire do we use and what kind of stuff do we use. This is Softlex. This is their regular line, the blue label line. They have a soft touch line, which is a little bit softer, which is a red label. We sell that as well. They have various lines that we sell, various colors. This is just the regular satin silver, they call this. This is the fine wire. So if you don't know, beading wire, this is nylon coated wire, and there are 21 strands. Maybe you can see that. 21 strands of wire put together. It doesn't look like there would be any room for 21 strands, right? But there's room. So 21 strands of wire inside this nylon sheathing. The more strands of wire you have in there, the more supple and soft it can be, because you have more, instead of one big thing you're trying to bend, you have 21 little things that have space in between them that you're bending. So it makes it softer, it makes it more pliable. So this is the great thing about Softlex beading wire. We use it a lot, we love it a lot. We sell it. So if you want any, the fine, for example, this is $12. Different sizes, there's fine, medium, heavy, and very fine. Different sizes cost different amounts. The medium looks like it was $17 here. Sometimes the price changes. This is what it was when we pulled this one for the class. We have a heavy here, which is $14. There's also Econoflex, which is their Econo line. So there are 7 strands in here, so you can see, and it's going to be hard for you to tell on camera, but this you can kind of see is like not as supple, like it's harder to bend. It's a little stiffer than this one is. And I don't know if you can see it. It's hard to tell. But that's because there are fewer strands in there. But it is the Econo line. So this is only $4 for a spool of this, and it comes in many, many different colors. We have We also have the blue label in many colors too, but they're in small spools. We only sell the colors in small spools. But we have lots of different colors of that in medium, small spools. Medium is generally what we use. I'm just using fine because it's what I have here right now, and it's what I have the most of. So I'm going to just use it because it's what I have. I have these other sizes, but there's less on the spool. So I'd rather use one that's more full. Let me wind these back up since I was showing you. I don't like all those loose wires. All right. Now I'm ready to go home. I didn't even make anything yet. I'm talked out, but let's make something. If I can find my cutters. So please feel free to talk, ask questions, let me know what you're working on while we're doing this, because otherwise I could start making stuff and it could get quiet. It's helpful when you all prompt me and ask me questions. It's very helpful. Nicole uses the 19 strand by Beetlon. Yes, another you can use theirs. It's similar. We use the Beetlon stuff for some of the what's the word? The fire line. We use their fire line for seed beating often because it's very good for that. Danette says, thank you so much for showing the beading wires. I have to check to see if I have crimping pliers. I'm watching and listening and working on a jigsaw puzzle. Nice. Yeah, if you don't have crimping pliers, I have some in stock. So if you need them, let me know. All right. Okay. Oh, let's see. I don't need these yet. I don't need these yet. Marianne says, I only use Softflex, but Beetlon is a good brand too. Yeah, it's just, it's what you use. It's who you work with. But both are, both are good. Both are good. So if you have one or the other, you're good. You're good to go. You're good to go. I don't know what I'm going to do, y'all, yet. Brooke is working on some knitting, just finished a beading project, and need a change of pace. I get it. I get it. All right. What am I doing? What am I doing? Let's start with these. And I want to see how these little gold spacers look with this. I'm not sure if I'm going to like this because the spacers are still a little bit big, but I think it could be interesting. That spacer has something in the hole. Teresa says, we'll be doing a 5-day wholesale vendor show in Ocean City and need to make 250 pieces to bring with us. Yikes. Hopefully you have some of those made. Hopefully you have some of those made. Or at least hopefully the show isn't quite here yet. I don't know if I'm liking this or not. Sorry, you can't see what I'm doing because it's way over here. Plus it's hard to see it anyway. Nicole says, setting up my workstation and camera for long content is what I have to practice. Or yeah, it's what I have to practice. Yeah, that's we're still working on our setup. We want to get to the point where our filming studio is ready and I don't have to worry about, setting up every day like we do now, which will be really nice. Just plug in and go, get ready and just do the live or do the filming for the tutorials. I was just not sure if I will talk or just use music while I create. On your long form, on your lives, you mean, or your long form content? If you do use music, be very careful that you are not using copyrighted music. There are a number of music places or companies online that you can sign up with, either a monthly amount that you pay, or sometimes you can get like lifetime memberships. One is called Epidemic Sound. A lot of YouTube people use Epidemic Sound. The one I use is called Audio, but it's spelled with two I's. Audio. And sometimes you get a really great deal on a lifetime membership to that. And that's what I purchased, is a lifetime membership. They have sound effects and they have music. And if you want to use some of their music in a YouTube video, for example, they will allow you to download. You can download the actual rights that they give you to use that music, so that if YouTube ever says, hey, you don't have the rights to this music, and they try and cancel your video, you can say, wait, no, here, and you can send them the rights to the music so they know. So just be very careful, because you can't use just any music in your videos. Like right now, if I were to, like, normally we have music in the store going. If I were to have that music on and you could hear it in the background, both Facebook and YouTube would strike this video down. So you definitely have to be careful with that. But it's doable. It's totally doable. I've heard of Epidemic Sound. Yeah, that's a big one on YouTube. But I think they are only monthly. You can only subscribe to the monthly. I just liked Audio because you could get I got a really good deal, I think, for maybe it was a Black Friday sale or something they were doing. A really good deal on a lifetime membership. And so I bought that, and I've been using it ever since. Nicole asked, what editing program do you use? Well, I started out with a few. I started out editing our videos. I'm an Apple person, so I use Apple devices. And Apple devices come with iMovie for free. So I started out editing our podcast, and no, I shouldn't say podcast, because I used a different thing for that. I started out editing our videos on iMovie, and you can do a lot with iMovie. Another good one out there, which is cross-platform. It works on Android devices and iOS devices. And now, as I talked about it, I just blanked. Luma Fusion, I think it's called. Luma Fusion, I want to say, is a really good editor, and it's not a lot of money. So Luma Fusion is really nice. If you like Luma Fusion, you can try that out. Like I said, I think it's for Android and iOS. And if you have a Mac, you can run it on your Mac if you have a new enough Mac that it runs the iOS apps on your Mac. So if you do that, you can run it there. But also, what I use now is Final Cut. I use Final Cut Pro. It's by Apple, and you buy it once and you get all the updates for free. You don't have to pay for it again. So I use that. It is now available on the newer iPads. You can use Final Cut. It doesn't have all the features as the desktop, but it has a lot of them. So you can do that for, I think it's $4.99 a month. Or I think there's a yearly subscription fee, but that is a subscription, not a pay once thing. The desktop version is a pay once thing. But I think they did that so that people who don't know if they want to invest in that kind of money to buy editing programs, because I think Final Cut is $300. People who aren't sure they want to invest in it, it's a way to pay monthly. I like paying monthly on things. Nicole says, I am Android and going to be getting a Samsung tablet for all my editing. Samsung is great. I've heard very good. I've read a lot of good things about them. And so the LumaFusion might be something you want to look into, because I think it's like $20 or $30, and it is a really robust editing system. There's also DaVinci Resolve, but that's not for Android. DaVinci Resolve is for Mac or PC, Windows computers. And I think they have a free version of DaVinci Resolve if you don't need all the bells and whistles, or you can upgrade if you do. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff. If you have an Adobe plan already, Adobe Premiere Pro is another video editing that comes with some of the Adobe plans. So it just depends. Just depends. Nicole says, yeah, I thought about DaVinci for my laptop. Yeah, it's a good one, I think. It's a good one. Brooke says, Internet Archive has music, so you could probably find stuff that's public domain, older stuff, but if you want classical or the like, that won't matter. Yeah, you just have to be careful, because even with classical, depending on where you get it, sometimes, like, you wouldn't want to play classical from Apple Music Classical, most likely, because there's probably still some kind of thing on that, some kind of rights, because Apple Music Classical is playing it. I don't know for sure, but yeah, you're usually safe with classical. As Andrew said, we just won a CEA grant, so we'll be updating some of our filming equipment soon. Yeah, I just actually got the check today. Andrew didn't know that yet. Just got the check today. So we got our CEA grant, and we're going to be working on updating our filming studio, and also some stuff for the news store. Nicole says, I just don't want to edit on my phone. I don't blame you. Andrew, he does everything on his phone for the most part. Sometimes he goes to a computer if he really has to, but most of the time, everything he does is on his phone. I don't know how. I need a bigger screen. So I edit mostly on my laptop. Because I have, my tablets are smaller. I don't have any of the big size tablets. So I edit mostly all on my laptop. Nicole says, so basically it has to be approved for copyright stuff. Yes, YouTube, because they are the ones who will get in trouble if they are hosting copyrighted material. If they find copyrighted music in your videos, they will give you a strike. And sometimes that just means you can't monetize it. Sometimes it means they'll rip the sound. Facebook has been known, especially Facebook and Instagram, will rip the sound out of your video. So yeah, it's definitely one of those things that you don't want to use copyrighted material, because your video could go away after all that hard work filming and doing the tutorial and what you're doing, and you post it, and then they say, oh, you have a copyright strike, and they take it down. And it's tricky. They're good at it. I recorded my grandmother years ago on a big camcorder, VHS, recorded some home videos that I have since digitized. And in the background, for example, her radio in her kitchen was just playing, and you could hear a little bit of the music in the background, and I've had copyright strikes on that. So they will find it generally. I'm just trying to decide. I don't want those all together. I want something to break them up. Don't like that. I think these are going to both be too big for what I'm doing. Sorry, I keep hitting this. One of these days we'll be all updated with our filming equipment, and I won't have to worry about telling you that, sorry, I'm bumping the camera every 2 seconds here. I feel like I need more beads. I feel like I don't have enough to work with here. But we're just going to keep going, because I'm not going to go wild looking for stuff, because I've already taken enough of your time doing this. So we're just going to make a pretty simple thing today, I think. But it is gold, right? Which is our challenge today, to use gold or gold colored components in a design. Let's see. Nicole says, do men generally wear the bracelets made with beading wire and a clasp? Yeah, definitely could. It all depends, you know. It depends, you know, who's your customer and who's buying it. But we definitely have men who do. Men also, you know, generally people tend to think that men want um, leather and all that, and that's not always the case. It just depends. Just depends who your customer is, right? Anybody else working on anything? And my phone is dying. Let me see if I can plug it in here real quick. I happen to have the cord right next to me. How fortuitous. Or is it just good planning? I don't know. I didn't plan it, so it's fortuitous. Andrew's finishing up the July painting for Patreon. Awesome. Yeah, if you don't know, we have a Patreon for our studio called Star Cottage Studio. And you can join for as little, I think, as $3 a month or as much as $12 a month. And that helps to support us. Maybe you don't buy beads from us every month, or you know, you wish you could help, but you can't afford a lot of stuff. It's a nice way. We use all the money that we get to improve Star Cottage Studio. So sometimes we buy light bulbs. Like we replaced there's a lot of light bulbs at Star Cottage Studio. One of the months we took the money and we replaced all of the incandescent ones with LEDs to cut down on our expenses. And other times, what have we done with it all? I can't even remember everything, but we post about it on the Patreon and we tell you what we do with the money that we get from you. And we try to make it, you know, nicer every time, and we appreciate the support. So if you would like to, you can go to patreon.com/starcottagestudio. I have a banner here somewhere for that. Let me see if I can find it without jostling this too much. There it is. And you can support us there. Let's see. Suzanne is just finished sewing a patch on an upcycled sweatshirt. I love all the clothing you're doing lately. I like it all. I wish, you know, for a large chunk of my life, I had hoped at one point to be a fashion designer. And then I never learned how to do any of it. Never learned how to sew. You kind of got to know that. Never learned how to pattern make. Got to kind of know how to do that. But yeah, I wanted to do that for, you know, it was one of those things. So I like seeing all the things you're doing and how you're manipulating your fabrics and changing things up. Barnaby keeps asking to go outside. He went outside with me for like 5 minutes this morning, but we didn't have much time. I was running late. So that little boy, he did not get as much time as he wanted to have outside. I think I'm going to try and attach some of this chain. I think I'm going to do it. Nicole says, I should be working on some bracelets, but I just came home from vacay and just relaxing for a bit now. You're relaxing from your relaxation? I get it. Traveling is a lot, right? Cheryl says, I'll be working on this Russian spiral stitch tonight. I think it's my favorite stitch that Andrew's taught so far. Yeah, if you've not been watching Andrew's tutorials, he's been doing a lot of them because normally I've been at pottery classes. This week I have off because the 4th of July most the teachers took off. But I'll be back at pottery classes next week. But if you've not been watching Andrew's, he's been doing all the different kinds of seed bead stitches. He's been doing a lot of them. So if you're learning, you want to learn how to seed bead, or you need to brush up on some techniques, or just learn from a different teacher maybe in different things, you can check those out. They're under our tutorial section. If I've gotten them categorized yet, some of them may just be under the live tab on our YouTube channel. So you can check that out too. Andrew says, in the upcoming months, we're going to change the format of Patreon. Instead of focusing on just Star Cottage, we'll cover all of the businesses, but we have to work on finishing up some details. Yeah, we're going to be switching over. So it will be a Patreon for everything we do, but we got to get there. We're working on it, taking steps, taking little steps. Little by little, the bird builds its nest, right? Marianne's back on the TV, phone needs charging. I get that. Andrew says, I accidentally cut one of my strands in my Russian spiral sample, so I had to patch it and fix the problem. Yikes, yikes. Nicole says, yep, relaxing from relaxing. Nicole says, yeah, I'm going to watch those tutorials. Thanks. And please give us thumbs up, y'all. When you watch the things from us, please give us thumbs up. I just posted a new old podcast episode, and like 30 or 40 people watched it. Not a single thumbs up. So please hit the thumbs up when you watch our stuff. That's a reminder to do that right now. Whether you're on Facebook or YouTube, hit that like, hit the thumbs up, hit the love, whatever you want to hit. Please don't hit the angry or the sad. We don't like to see that. If you're angry or sad with us, please send us an email and we'll try and work it out. All right, that's what we do. Nicole says, I definitely want to perfect my other skills before moving on to bead weaving. Yeah, but sometimes you also need to take a break, right? Sometimes, yeah, perfecting the skills is great, but sometimes you just need a little break. Sometimes you just need a little break and need to switch gears and get your mind off of stuff. So, you know, it's great to perfect things before you move on to something else, but sometimes that holds you back too. I'm a big person on trying to perfect things, and I realize sometimes that stops me from doing other things because I'm waiting to perfect things, and you're never perfect, right? There's always room for improvement generally. So don't be afraid to try other things at the same time. What am I doing right now? What am I doing? I'm making a hook. I'm talking too much and not thinking. I'm making a hook. I'm going to hook that on. I'm going to have to cut that beading wire and attach it on the other end. That's okay. Put the chain on before you do the hook. This chain is soldered shut, so I have to do it. I can't add it later. I want to add it now. I don't want to waste my beading wire, so I'm going to inch this down. Sorry, you can't see what I'm doing. Although I need to see what I'm doing to be able to do this. Sometimes this is hard to do on camera. The crimping, not always easy to do on camera. Nicole says, switching gears, that's true, right? We actually have a friend who started a business called Switching Gears Outpost, and we did a podcast with her. In case you would like to listen to that, she was a truck driver and she injured her foot and couldn't drive, and she couldn't do a lot of things anymore. And beading actually really helped kind of save her mentally. And so she started creating jewelry and called her business Switching Gears Outpost. I think I want this about the same size as that. So let's double this. To go, let's do it about there. Yeah, sorry if you can't see what I'm doing. It's hard. It's hard to stay on camera, especially when you got this finicky stand. I'm trying. I'm trying to do my best so you can see. And I think I'm going to do this with just a lobster claw because that's the most secure for a bracelet. So I'm going to use one of these jump rings. And right now, I'm just getting tools. I'm just closing the jump ring because it's a little bit open. Just closing the jump ring so that it doesn't. And I don't have the proper tools with me, of course. I need to bring some tools from the cottage to the store because I have no flat pliers that aren't serrated. Andrew says, I miss her. I'm glad she got a house, but we never got to hang out because when she lived down the street, it was COVID times. Who are you talking about? Who did I talk about? And, oh, Nettie. Yeah, our friend Nettie. I was like, who did I just talk about? Switching gears. Yeah, she got a house in a town further away. I don't know why she did that, but some people just like to be happy, I guess. I don't know. But no, she was able to get a house, um, and it's a little bit further away from us, so we barely see her anymore. But she is back to driving bus now, which I think she's very happy about. She likes driving. She takes a lot of kids around for tournaments and things like that, sporting events all over the country, really. Mostly East Coast, I think, but all over. Andrew says we got a bucket full of chain nose pliers. I know. I just got to bring them. Got to remember to bring them. That's the hard part. Remembering to do the thing, right? Remembering to do the thing. So in this end, I'm just sealing up this end. And I pulled that a little too tight, maybe. Get this. Don't cross. You don't want your wires crossed when you're crimping, right? You want that crimp plier to make two nice little roadways, nice little paths for the wire. That is crossed over. And I really kinked this wire, so this is going to be harder than I thought to get this crimped right. But we're going to do my best. I don't sell my designs, right? So it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just for me. Still did it. Yay. Still did it. Okay. Nicole says, right? No crossing of wires, right? Andrew says, maybe take the Patreon banner down. Yeah, let's get rid of that now that you know. Lynn's house on East Main Street just sold so cheap. I was mad when I saw it. Really? Wonder what happened to her. We haven't seen her in a long time. Nicole says, I can't wait to be able to set up my workroom with all of my beads and findings. Isn't it right? Isn't it nice when you can get yourself all set up? So here's what I have so far. And I kind of made that a little tight, but this is going to be a bracelet. So, and I like triple wrap bracelets. So I'm going to see, I'm already at one wrap. More, I'm getting close already. It's going to be like that. And Andrew says 190,000 for 2 apartments and a retail space. Holy moly, that is cheap. I mean, for here, that is cheap. But that's a lot of stuff to be able to rent, right? Rent out if you buy that. Now, I'm going to weave. This is going to take a little while, so just bear with me. Weaving this sari silk. This is sari silk. We sell this in our online store. Just look up sari and you'll see it there. It's S-A-R-I. And I really kind of like that look. I like it. Suzanne says, my neighbor is selling her house for $825,000. Whew, that's expensive, right? That's expensive down there. Suzanne, see, you could sell your house down there. If you could get that kind of money, almost a millionaire, you could come up here with us and you could live the good life, right? You could live the good life. I say that, and then sometimes we say the same thing. It's like, we could move somewhere else, sell all of our stuff, move somewhere else, and live the good life instead of the hard life. But I do like it here. Suzanne says, it's tempting, right? Yeah, come hang out with us. There's yoga here. I'm sure you could teach. I'm sure you could still teach. Andrew says, most of the retail commercial spaces here are pricey, 500,000 plus. Hello, Diane. Thanks for joining in. Brooke says, that would buy you 3 of my houses. 825,000. That would buy you a lot more than that of our houses. But I would not want that kind of mortgage. Oops, sorry. Getting wild over the mortgage. Suzanne says her house is overpriced. Well, you got to start high, right? Because you know everyone's going to negotiate you down. Everyone's going to negotiate you down. So you got to really start high. I get it. All right. Now, I'm just going to wrap this around here twice so it stays in there. Make it a little kind of knot. See if I can get this knotted again to make a full knot. Kind of left myself short here, so hopefully I can do that. Okay. Teresa said, just ordered 4 sari silks and Andrew's new picture. Thank you. Yeah, that's one thing I didn't mention today. Andrew released a new series of artwork. And it's a ACEO, I want to say. ACEO. It's like artist trading cards, but they're not trading. They're for purchase. But ACEO, I was right. ACEO. So he just released a new painting series, which is an ACO edition. And if you would like to grab any of those, you can do that. There's one product listing for it. That was something that some people were confused about, more than one. There's only, usually when we list Andrew's artwork, we list each individual one. We did not do that this time. We listed one, and so it's kind of like you get an idea of what you're going to get. They're very similar. All the paintings are similar, but they're not exactly the same. All right, so you kind of get an idea of what you're getting, but you don't get the full, idea of what you're getting until you get it. It's kind of a little surprise. So we did it that way. Cheryl asked, did the Sari Silk lady also supply the side stitch silk in your shop? Yes. Andrew says, yes, she did it as an experiment because it was such a pain for her to make. Yeah, so we're not getting any more of that either, unless we find someone else who's doing it. And we like that the way she was doing it was the no waste way. We try to be good like that when we can. That's why you shop small, right? Trying to do the good work in the world. Oh, I just undid that knot instead of doing it. I actually like how this one is showing up. Finicky. I'm getting finicky. Come on, Jane. What I didn't do is pull this the way I should have pulled it before I started doing it. So I gotta pull this and give myself space to work. And now I'm questioning whether I left myself enough room. I have big fingers, so sometimes if I don't leave myself a lot of room when I'm tying knots, it's very hard for me to tie a knot. So we'll see if this is hard or not so hard. Andrew says, we can buy Sari Silk ribbon, but it's kind of random whatever color ribbon. Because she used a different technique than most people do. Oh, let's see if I can get this through here. If I can, I will be ready to go, I think. Yay, I think that did it. Okay, now let's cut this off, and hopefully, did I just cut that? No. Move this down the side a little bit. All right, and there's my chain. So when this wraps around, it's going to wrap like that, and wrap like that. I think that's kind of pretty. And I like the rough edge that you get with that. Andrew says, I also secure my fiber knots with a dab of glue. Yeah, I don't have glue. I do have glue here, but I don't want to waste the glue. But yeah, you probably would definitely want to dab some glue in here and in here. This knot is already coming apart, so I definitely need some glue. But you get it. You get what I'm doing. It's all right. Like I said, these are just for me mostly. Trim that up a little bit. Sandra says, that's a cute idea. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. That way you can use your chain without, sometimes when you use chain, you either have too much, kind of white space or blank space, or you just have too much chain, like too much metal showing, right? So that's a way to kind of use your metal and tone it down a little bit, or create more of a solid look instead of that outlined look. All right, so I think I'm going to now start continuing with some beading wire again. So I need another crimp tube. That's not my crimp tube bag. There they are. Andrew says it can add texture and soften the look of chain. Yeah. Julie says, very pretty, William. Thank you. And I might actually dangle this from somewhere in here. I don't know. I might not use those. But I just had that idea. I think that would be nice, maybe as a charm on there somewhere. And really, if I was thinking about it, I should have pushed this through the material, the silk, if I was really going to put it on there. But it's not worth undoing just to do that on camera. But that's an idea. And if you do something like this, there, I just thought of it for you. Thought of it in advance for you, so that if you're wrapping chain and you want to put something on that ribbon, put it on while you're doing the wrapping. Andrew says also, if your chain is homely, you can cover it up, right? You want a little bit of weight of that chain. Sometimes chain is nice weight-wise in a design, but sometimes it doesn't look so great. You got some old chain or something, right? Fix that right up. And who doesn't love sari silk, honestly? We sell a good bit of it. It's really pretty. People like it. Gives you some texture, some different texture. Andrew says, I like to kumihimo with it. Yeah, there's so much you can do with it, right? Kumihimo. Andrew's been doing the kumihimo lately. All right. Now I've secured that on there, and I'm going to kind of estimate how much I want. I'm going to take my hand out of here because I'm just going to keep knocking that around to do it. I'm just spinning this around. Let's see, we go 1, 2, I'm going to go around 3 times. So all I'm doing is I'm seeing where on my wrist that hits, and it's about here for 3 times. So I'm going to give myself a little bit extra. It's always good to have a little bit extra, and then I'm going to cut it. And now I'm going to finish doing some beading on it. And I'm going to kind of, I think, I'm not usually matchy-matchy, but I think I'm going to mimic, this other side that I did coming back. I don't know if I have enough spacers for all that, but I'm going to try. So I'm just going to mimic this again and see what that gives me. Like I said, I don't normally do symmetry. I like to work in groups, and if you've been watching my little make-alongs, I oftentimes work in groups and then hope kind of those groups go together in some way. But that's part of the fun, is playing around and figuring that out. I also don't always like symmetry, because if you mess one little thing up, you ain't gonna fix that easily without taking everything else apart, right? If you do it asymmetrically, there's no right or wrong. There's no right or wrong. And I like to cut down my chances of being wrong whenever I can. So what's up? Who's still watching? Anybody out there still? I know a few of you are. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for hanging out with us today. If you like what we do and you like our little boutique bead store, please hit the thumbs up, share us with your friends. We don't pay, the big guys. We don't like to give money to all the big Facebook and all that for advertising and all that. So your sharing really helps us out. And the more you give us thumbs ups and the more that you share our posts, the more those content places know that we are worthy, and they show us to more people, right? To some extent, anyway. They do like you to pay still, but they don't need more money, honestly. They don't need this little small business's money. But that's how they try to get you sometimes, right? Sandra's here. Nicole B is here. Thank you. Thank you. I hope you're liking what I'm doing. Hope you're having fun hanging out with us today. I know it's not super exciting sitting here watching people bead, right? But hopefully you're getting some ideas. And like I said, everything that you see here, if it's not in our online store and you'd like anything, just send us an email. I'll be getting to emails more tomorrow. I didn't get a chance to look at things today. I had a few appointments today. People came in and asking me questions and business stuff, and some people I'm helping do some consulting work for and stuff. So if you do need anything, I will be hopefully getting to emails tomorrow. And then Friday, we have to get up super early for us. 8:15 in the morning, we have an appointment to take our kittens in to get their boosters. But they also have to get checkups, I guess by law, legally. If you get cats boosters, the vet, because we're using a different vet than they started with, the vet has to do a checkup legally. So they have to go in and get another checkup, which they've already done, but it's a different vet, and then they're going to get their boosters and maybe rabies shots and stuff. Norma's still here. I enjoy watching people create, she says. Thank you. Oh, there it is. I was like, where did that go? Like I said, I don't normally design with much gold, but I've been using it in my designs lately and kind of starting to like it. Still doesn't look great on me, but I can still like it even if it doesn't look great on me, right? I think that's one of the reasons I don't like certain things, is because they don't look good for me, but they're still pretty. Gold is still pretty, right? I think it's a pretty thing. It's a pretty substance. It's bright, it's shiny, it makes you feel good to see. It's like the sun, right? Nice yellow color. But on my skin, not the greatest. Andrew says, it looks good on you, especially the antique gold. Antique gold might look better. The bright, shiny gold, wash it, makes me look like, I don't know, I always feel like I look jaundiced or something with it. But that may also be, that bad self-speak that sometimes we give ourselves. I didn't wear white for a long time because I thought white, because I'm already pale, but sometimes and black too. I didn't wear a lot of white and black, but sometimes I actually like wearing them. Took me a long time to figure that out though. Andrew says that's the bad self-speak, right? Andrew's trying to get me to see myself in a better way. I've never had good self-speak generally. I've always been very hard on myself and very down on my self-image. And lately if you've been following me personally on Facebook, I have been sharing, let me move these so y'all can see more. I've been sharing some old photos of me, and I'm like, oh, I don't actually look as bad as I thought I used to. And so I'm trying to remember that now, as if like when I'm 80 and I'm looking back at myself now, I'll probably be like, oh, I didn't look as bad as I thought I did. And I'm trying to keep that in my mind. But I've never been that kind to myself as far as body image is concerned. Andrew says, like, how much gold are you wearing that is going to jaundice you out, right? Yeah, I'm not going to be wearing that much gold. But just from me to you, if you have bad self-speak too, take it easy on yourself. It's not that bad, right? I try and keep that in mind, trying to get better about it myself. We are our own worst enemies sometimes, right? At least I know I have been. Andrew says, I would wear that much gold. Yeah, you would. Goldie D over there. Goldie D. Sorry, everyone. I'm just coming down to the end of this, and I'm trying to make sure that because I'm doing this symmetrically, I'm trying to make sure I have the right amount of things on here. I'm not used to doing things symmetrically. Andrew says Charlize Theron style in Snow White. Yeah, you would go crazy with the gold, wouldn't you? Okay, I'm going to take this off camera just so I can line it up and see if I have enough, if I've made it long enough or if I've made it too long. I think that's perfect. So I just need to get, whoa! I just need to get lobster claw. I'll be back. And I am using a big lobster claw this time because I used a small one last time and it was so hard. I have a hard time. I don't know how y'all do it when you're putting on your bracelets by yourself because I have a very hard time doing that. So I like a big lobster claw, easier to clasp, easier to use my fingers. Like I said, my fingers are big, easier to use with big hands. Get the bigger lobster claw. Sorry. Out of the camera. Keep trying to stay in the camera. Okay. Let's make this in here. I'm going to crimp this. Whenever you crimp, when you're crimping a necklace or a bracelet, it's helpful before you tighten it to give it a little swirl. And that makes sure you have enough room in there for everything to be loose and it's not like packed jam tight and gets all kinked up when you wear it. So just give it a nice swirl. That means, like, if you can see this, you are going to get a little bit of length, a little bit of wire exposure here at the end, but that makes sure that when it bends, you have enough room. You have enough room in your design to have that leeway. You want a little bend when you're wearing it, right? So you need that little extra room. I'm going to flip this around. And we're going to crimp this down. And we're going to crimp this down. All right, good to go. I'm going to cut this off and make sure we're good to go. Yeah, that's tight. Come on, there we go. All right, so there we have it. It's going to go on. I'm going to have to take this out of the camera again to put this on because I know my skills at attaching these, not great, y'all, not great. So hopefully I made this big enough that I can do this. When I'm not on camera or I'm not under pressure, I can do these no problem, I promise. But when I'm under pressure on camera, nothing works, right? You know, if you do tutorials, that's how things always are. Okay. So there we have it. There's what I made today. Let me flip this camera so I can get a little bit closer, because if I switch to this other camera, I know I can bring it up closer. There we go. Don't mind my mess over here. But there it is. And like I said, this one is coming a little undone, so I would just add a little bit of glue to this because my knot isn't holding very well. But there you go. There's what you can do with a little bit of stuff. So that was what? It was probably, I think, $6.50 for some of the Galaxy glass, which I still have a little bit left over. You can make earrings probably with if you wanted to. I used one strand of fire polished check glass, which is, I don't know, what, $4 or something like that, $4 or $5. I used 2 different tubes of spacers, which are $3 each. So if this is $6.50, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So say $11.50, 12, 13, 14.50. This, which you have a lot left over, is $6. So that's what, $20.50. And then, did I do 2 of these? So $23.50 or so. And then this little bag, what do I do with it? These little flat ones, which I still have one left, these were $7. So for about what, $30 or so? 30 to $32. And I still have stuff left over that I could still keep making, like all these pewdies. It looks like I used all of these, but I used these in another project, so I should still have another half tube of these left. You still have a strand of this, you have all this sari silk left. So you could probably make, I did a triple wrap. If you did a double wrap or a single wrap, you could make 2 or 3 of them at least for that price. So if you're buying them for $36 and you're making 3 of them, that's what? I don't know, $12 each, something like that. Not quite even. And sell them on. So there you go. Oh, and the chain. The chain's a little bit It's 40 cents an inch. I probably use 6 inches. But you see, I think it's pretty nice. I think it worked out pretty well. Let's see here. Teresa says it's beautiful. Thank you. Cheryl says the colors look amazing. Thanks so much. And the reason I used this today, remember, if you're just tuning in or if you tuned in late, we are doing the Summer of Fantasy, and we have a July calendar with prompts every day. And today's prompt was use gold or gold-colored components in your creation. You don't have to make jewelry. That's open-ended, so it's just whatever you want to make. But I made a triple wrap bracelet because that's what I've been doing lately. I'm making a bunch of these with y'all. So you can do that. Norma says, beautiful. I love the red and gold together. Yeah, I thought that worked. The whole thing started with this galaxy glass. And I saw it. I said, that's gold. And then I flipped it around and I said, that's red on there. And so I got the sari silk to match that red galaxy glass. And then I saw these, which I love but never have used because I'm not sure, I wasn't sure how to use them, but I think that works really well in there. And I could add dangles. Like I could still maybe add this on if I wanted some kind of dangle. I like charms a little bit on my bracelets, so maybe. But yeah, Julie says really nice bracelet. Thank you. Okay, let me flip the camera here back around again. We'll say a quick goodbye, and then that'll be it for today. Okay, let's get this. Whoops, I'm coming undone. My stand is. This is one of those crazy bendy stands, and it's a little bit wild. A little bit crooked. Oh well. So there we go. Thanks for hanging out with me, making stuff with me. If you have not started the Summer of Fantasy, there is no time like the present. We are doing a 21% off sale for Independence Week here at Allegory Gallery. And so if you use code 1776, you can save 21% off everything in our online store, including the silk, including the galaxy glass, including the beauty spacers, all of that stuff, the fire polish check glass, all of that stuff is in the online store. If you want the chain, we only have that in the physical store, but you can message me and you can get it there. I even think these little flat, I think we even put these in the online store as well. If you search brass, I think they are under brass. If you find brass, I think you'll find those too. So there you go. You got lots that you can do. And if you need the beading wire, we've got it for you. Just send us an email. And we want to see what you make all month long for the Summer of Fantasy here for July. The prompt calendar is on our blog, so go to allegorygallery.com. It's up here, and go to our blog. You'll see I think it's the second or third blog post back. You'll see the calendar, and you can click on that and go into the post and read all about it. Download the PDF calendar if you want to. Print it out. It's a good thing to have printed by your side, so you know every day what you're going to get up and start making for Summer of Fantasy for July here. And yeah. Tomorrow, I think, is make something green, if I'm not mistaken. Use emerald or a green stone. So that's tomorrow's challenge prompt. Nicole says, this has given me some inspiration for running my channel in a fun and professional manner. Thanks. Yeah, we are, we're a little loosey-goosey, right? As Jen, I think, says, but we also, there's that word professional, right? That people disagree. What is professional anymore? Some people think professional is building a wall between you and your supporters or customers. I don't even like saying customers. You are our supporters. That's what you do. You support us. But some people think professionalism means you have to have that wall where you don't interact very much. You do the transactions well and you do them right, but that's about all. And that's not us. We like to have fun. We like to hang out with you. We like to get to know you. That's the whole point of this, right? The whole point of everything in the world is to make friends and have good people surrounding you, right? I mean, when things go bad, what do you need? You need your friends around you. You need your supporters around you. And so the whole point of all of this, right, this life that we live, I think, is to surround yourself with good people and inspiring people and kind people. And so we like to get to know you and what you're about. And, you know, maybe some people, I know for a fact that some people think that's not professional, but for us it is. That's the only way to be in this profession. So that's what you get from us. So either you like it or you don't. Hopefully you like it. Nicole says, I love your channel. It's fun and educational at the same time. I learn something every time I watch. Thank you. I'm glad you do. And remember, these YouTube things are free, everybody. We do these for free. Sometimes we're selling stuff and that's not so free, right? But we give a lot of tech help. We give a lot of advice, both in jewelry making and also in, technology and business wise. So if you appreciate that, we hope you'll subscribe if you didn't already. And we hope that you'll help us get the word out that we exist. The only way that we can keep doing free stuff is if we have the support in other ways, right? So that means sharing with your friends, sharing with your public, and letting people know we exist. And the more people that know we exist and the more people that support us by buying things, the more free things we can do here for those who may not be able to buy. You hope it all washes out, right? It all evens out. And we love doing these. We love doing the tutorials, and we love giving you advice and helping you on your journey to create and make magical things, right? So thank you for watching. I'm going to go. It's been 2.5 hours. Thank you, all of you who've tuned in this entire time. We appreciate it so much. If you did miss anything, you can watch the review or the replay. And please, if you are watching the replay, leave some comments. That helps. It really helps with the algorithms. And if you do have questions, especially, like I said, especially on YouTube, you can leave comments on YouTube particularly, and I do see all of those. Sometimes Facebook does not show us all the comments, but there's a space in YouTube where I can go to comments and I can see all the new comments. And I do try to go through those a few times a week and answer any questions or let people know what's going on if they have questions about anything, or just, like your comments, because we like to have your comments. Andrew says, when I first started making stuff, if you wanted to learn something, you had to buy a book or buy a class. Yeah, now there's so much available for free. And we're trying to add to that. We're trying to give you that value. Even if you don't spend money with us, you still get the value, right? But we do hope that if you can't spend money with us, you'll share, and maybe your friends can, or your family can, or your acquaintances can, if they're into making as well. It has to even out to be a business. And we wish we could do this for free, but we are not independently wealthy. If we were, you'd be getting a lot of free stuff. But we do have to pay for materials. We do have to pay for, the technology this takes and the time out of our schedule that this free stuff takes. So anyway, that. You know how business works. It feels like talking business is a dirty subject sometimes, right? Because I would love to just do this for free. And so it feels weird to say you need to buy stuff to keep us going, but you need to buy stuff to keep us going, or somebody does at least. So the sharing helps. It's a great way to support a small business. Sharing, liking, commenting, subscribing, following. If you don't follow us on Facebook or Instagram, we're in all the places, so we appreciate that. Nicole says, trust and believe that we appreciate the value you give the creators community. Thank you. That means a lot. Andrew says, it's like PBS. Yeah, it's like this is our marathon, our the drive, the marathon drive. We give you the free stuff and then we tell you, now go buy stuff, or tell your friends to go phone in and buy stuff, but don't phone in. Use the online store. You can phone in if you want to. I'm just awful with the phone. All right. So thank you all so very much. Have an amazing evening. And we will see you back here tomorrow. I think it's going to be me, but I got to see when Jen is filming. I think Jen and I are going to film on Friday. So I think you're going to see Andrew on Friday for the live. He doesn't know that until just now. But I think after Jen leaves the store on Friday, we're going to go film for the Saturday morning tutorial. We're going to do a quick one, and then I got to edit it and get it posted before Saturday morning. But I think I will be here tomorrow. So I'll be here tomorrow. Then it's a bright and early morning for us, Friday morning, taking the kittens to the vet. And then I have an appointment with another person I'm working with to take some pictures Friday afternoon. And then Friday evening, we're filming. And then I'm editing, and then I'm posting, and we'll have a Saturday morning tutorial, hopefully, for you this Saturday, okay? So thank you again. Have an amazing, amazing evening, morning, or afternoon, wherever, whatever it is in your neck of the woods. And we'll see you back here tomorrow. Bye, everybody.